I didn't see why. I didn't see why. I'm like, why is he worried about that? In my mind, that's what I was saying.
I think in the first few days it did get to him,
but I don't see why.
Because it's very it's really hard for Charleston's back to be against the wall.
Gotta be paperwork on the snitch, homie. It ain't no rat without no paperwork. It ain't no such thing as an anonymous snitch. February of 2020, homie, last year, I got with Dallas Global and a few other media outlets. So I put out a little old reward, man, $25,000 reward, man. But yeah, nah, homie, I ain't no informant. I ain't no. That's internet talk, right?
And I think that was the one time in his career where he had to kind of fight off some shit. He never really had to fight off any allegations.
Yeah,
he never really had to.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.
Some Charleston White, his younger picture comes up in court documentation. I don't know who released it.
Feet from him and listened intently.
He pulled the hammer back on the gun.
And then what happened?
He fired it.
But I know it was calculated release. Mm-hmm. Somebody released it. They was trying to hit at him.
That was after the Ronnie situation.
And when it did it, I think I told my uncle, I said the look on his face when they did it, he didn't like it.
Conversation he says he had with Dittle after the shooting.
I said, look, you shot him.
What did he do?
Started laughing.
I know him. I know him like a book, right? He didn't like it. He said, but it was the thing because he had said so much about it. You know what I mean? Early on, I bet you can't, these are sealed, and you didn't expect it to come back up. But when you interviewed him, y'all talk about this for a whole hour.
Yeah.
No, that tripped me out. I'm like, why are they talking about this for a whole hour? A lot of people say that did a little something to his career. I'm being like, man, that did something. Like they seen a different side of him. What do you think about it? You talked to him, you've interviewed him a lot, more than anybody.
I think you're right about. I don't think it did anything to his career because I told you earlier, people fake care. They go from this to that to that.
I agree with that.
It's old news now, and it's sad. Like to me, the Get Money Lil Ronnie and his daughter's old news now, and I hate that because more kids are dying than normal, and that should be something that we should really be talking about.
But that's life, though, Shawn. It's been that way before the cameras came on.
You right.
It was when we were old. You bury a person, y'all eat dinner, and it's over. Next week, you can move it on to something else.
That's true.
It's just playing out on the cameras now.
It's sad, and probably because I know Ronnie, but it's sad that that's old news. But to my point, I don't think it hurts Charleston's career because it's old news now, and he's going to tell you I'm a rat on you. But he did have times where he did go back and say that I'm playing snitch, or I'm there ain't no paperwork on my name, or I never put nobody in jail.
It was a long campaign.
It was a lot. It was a lot of times when he did say that. But I do think you're right about.
I didn't see why. I didn't see why. I'm like, why is he worried about that? In my mind, that's what I was saying.
I think in the first few days it did get to him,
but I don't see why.
Because it's very it's really hard for Charleston's back to be against the wall.
Gotta be paperwork on the snitch, homie. It ain't no rat without no paperwork. It ain't no such thing as an anonymous snitch. February of 2020, homie, last year, I got with Dallas Global and a few other media outlets. So I put out a little old reward, man, $25,000 reward, man. But yeah, nah, homie, I ain't no informant. I ain't no. That's internet talk, right?
And I think that was the one time in his career where he had to kind of fight off some shit. He never really had to fight off any allegations.
Yeah,
he never really had to. That was the time he really had to put the gloves on and start swinging.
Because he pointed at Dittle, and now people are saying he was campaigning to keep him. That's what's crazy. People say he go up there every time Parole board come. He said keep that nigga locked up. He said he
didn't. I asked him in an interview. He said
it's on paper. It's people that said that OG Parole would contest different, and OG Parole bought that paperwork before that even. Before that even came out. He was on Camp Capone News. They had all the articles to it, but that brought a visual to it. But it was the same exact thing because Charleston's paperwork was concealed and he knew that.
Right.
But Doolittle's wasn't. He didn't think about that part. Think about that.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Doolittle is the shooter.
He's the one that shot.
Right,
So that's how it flips. That's how they got it. That's how they knew it.
But I asked him, I said, so you going up there every time during parole? He's like, nah. He's like, nah. So you think he does?
No, my partner said it. OG them say that's what they came on the show and said. I'll play that part right here. He been locked up that's a long time.
That's his whole life from 15. All he know is boys.
That's all he know.
You know? So do we want to just rob and just let this go for somebody that was influenced in something that did something that nobody else would do?
Wow. That's you're right. I mean, I can't do nothing but agree with you.
You know, and we got a lot of brothers like this, but he's on our radar right now from California, and I'm just asking out for Texas to give us, man, that brother don't need to just be in prison just because another man comes every year and say they don't want him out.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it definitely is something that they were saying way before now. That this was the plot. But something that, and I ain't even gonna, I'll tell you, I ain't gonna say it now, but it's the reason. It wasn't Charleston that's keeping him in there though, and Charleston said it. It was something else. It wasn't that.
I think I don't think people realize when people see Charleston in person, it's like they like go crazy.
What, mad at him? They don't get mad at him.
No, like people like
they love him.
They love Charleston.
Yeah, I know. I seen it. He was with me. You know that. Yeah. I know early on they was doing it. So, you know, everywhere. You know, we went to Vegas and all kind of stuff in Atlanta and all. You know, they loved him, and I don't think people on the internet, your commenters, I think are your biggest fans. Like Carlos Miller told me, because that's the one, they come up to you and take pictures every day.
Yeah.
It's confusing as hell, but them are the main people that gonna come up and be like, yeah, I watched the show, but they ain't gonna never say, hey, I got a problem with
it.
They be like, man, I watch it and I rock with it. Nigga, you ain't even subscribed. That's me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't even subscribed to this thing, man.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.